Hi, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, Dating Over 50. I'm here with my new friend, B, and we're going to talk about what it's like to date over 50. So, B, we were talking before the video started going about, dating over 50. So, do you think men over 50 are looking for committed relationships?
I do. Some do. I could tell you a perfect example. There is a man looking for me or looking for that special person, which is me. So I do believe yes.
Okay. Now, in their looking for, do you think it's now different than what it was before? Are they looking for marriage, or are they just looking for something that's committed? You know what I mean? Are we defining commitment differently for men over 50? Is he looking to get married, or is he just looking to have somebody that he can say is his for, a long period of time?
Well, I feel in my situation, I feel it's for commitment, is for starting over, for a marriage, and that's rare. But I think when we talk, I ask questions, and I ask, what did you see in me? Was it my visual, my body? What was it that interests you in me?
Okay.
And he said, yes, it was part of how you look, but as I got to know you, that's why I wanted to know you. I wanted to know how you think, and so I really feel that there are men still out there over 50 that wants a relationship or marriage.
Okay. So to that point, I'm thinking at this age, communication is key.
Yes.
Meaning that we should be mature enough to be able to have those hard conversations, know when and where to have them, because that's important,
yes.
And then know how to have them. And I think without that, we could just forget it, because at this age, you should know that this isn't an easy thing,
right.
And that we should also be looking back to see what was the problem that happened in the previous relationship. And generally what we find there was some lack of communication, meaning you were thinking one thing, didn't express that to the person, they had no idea, couldn't correct it, whatever. So how important do you think communication is?
That is very important, because sitting down with him, we talked. He told me what he's expected of a relationship, and me the same way. And we did talk about our previous relationships with one another, and we didn't want to make any mistakes again. So it was the person has to be mature enough to be able to say, okay, this is what I want in it, versus vice versa, the woman, this is what I want in it. If you both agree, then I think that will be great. So communication is the key. It has to be.
Now, in that communication, did we talk about sex? Meaning, did we talk about what we like? Did we talk about the frequency, what his appetite is? Did you tell him what yours is? Whether you're willing to climb on the wall? Did we Did we go in that depth, or what did we do?
Actually, I'm a shy person, but he actually presented it to me. He said, tell me what you like. And what I liked about that is he asked what I like.
Okay.
And that impressed me. It really did. And I told him what I like, and he also told me what he liked. And he said, will you be willing to do this, or would you be willing to do that?
Okay.
And I said, okay, never had, but it won't hurt to try.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
So then at this point, do you feel you have a realistic expectation of what he's looking for sexually?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. And so do you think you're on a common ground, meaning that, if he wants it 5 times a week, you're willing to do that, or do you know what his appetite is like? Has he defined it to that level to you?
Yes. If it's something that I say, no, I don't think so, then he'll understand. He said, okay, at least I know they're not uncomfortable with that. So, yes, we had our grounds of what we wanted. This is what we are expecting from each other. So it was a good communication, understanding.
Because I really think that's key. And I think, to me, at this age, like I said, we should be able to talk about anything. But my question is, has he talked about, is he able to sustain an erection? Did he talk about any of that? Does he know where he is as far as being able to please you?
Okay, yes, and this is a funny thing, because at our age, our health is a big factor. We have health, and he so happened to have diabetes. And he also mentioned, well, I don't because I got diabetes, I don't have it like that. And I said, okay, but there are other means that I could satisfy you.
Okay.
And That was it.
And he was okay with it.
Yeah, he was okay.
So, okay, because again, I know unfortunately in the black community that is one of the issues.
Yeah.
Diabetes, and then the other follow-up to that is high blood pressure.
Right.
So with that becomes the medicines that they have to take, and with those medicines becomes their ability to sustain an erection.
Right.
So, have you guys talked about like pills or anything like that, or is he okay where he is?
Well, he has mentioned, he says, I need to satisfy you in every way.
Okay.
So he did mention his research, what he has already researched, and that he said, I definitely need to get this. So he has gotten that. So we're great.
So then, when he talks about wanting to commit, and then we know that now younger women are more willing to be more sexual and to provide favors. Of course, it's usually in exchange for some gift or money or whatever. Has he talked about that? Do you feel as though he's done with that phase of his life, or do you still are concerned about whether he would step out and look for that younger attention?
Well, from his maturity level, I feel he's done with that, and even though we discussed his previous marriages, he never went out on his wife at all, and he's committed. He believes in that, in his religious beliefs and everything. He believes in common ground, being faithful to his partner. So I feel right now, I think he's over that. He's past that stage, and if it happens, we also say, well, what if, you decide, what if you just go out? Would you confront me about it? Would you talk to me about before you do it? If it's something that I'm lacking, will we discuss it and have a communication? Because I'm like this. I told him I believe in being faithful and also being truthful and understanding that we understand each other. So me being at 58 years old, I feel that if I'm lacking something, I would tell him this is what I would like more of. But with him, he has an understanding of basically he's past that stage in his life. And if it comes up, we have to discuss it to that point because we never know what the future holds.
All right, Ms. B. So you mentioned you're 58. How old is this guy? Is he over 60?
No, he's not.
Oh,
he's actually 50.
Wow. Okay. So let me just say this. So before him, what was your experience like dating other men?
I actually haven't.
Oh, this is your first one out the gate?
This is my first one.
Okay, because Ms. B has been married for a while, and so now she's new to the dating game, and it sounds like she met a good one, which is good, ladies. So that says that there is hope for us all. Because that's the thing. It's like I'm just trying to figure out what we're finding out there. What are we doing now? So since you just recently, got divorced and all that, what do you think you need to do different than you've done in your past to help to have a better relationship going forward?
Well, I feel there was, I'm going to talk about black men because that's all I've experienced my husband. And a black man feels to me that he feels he needs to have that manlyhood. Us strong black women, we are strong black women, and that's to be proud of. But when it comes to your husband, your mate, whatever, sometimes we have to go backwards a little and just let them take the lead. They have to feel that they are the leaders of this relationship. And if they lose that, I think that's a part where they go out. They feel that someone else out there would listen to them and do whatever they want to, because us black women, we're strong. And
right.
There's nothing wrong with that. But we got to know when to say stop.
Because I was just talking to a guy, and he said that women need to learn how to drive from the back seat, meaning that let the man appear as though he's driving the car, but we know that we're helping, or we're actually giving a direction. And I thought that was a good analogy because you're right. I mean, men's ego. And I didn't understand this before I started doing all this interviewing, but men's egos are very fragile. I thought they were more solid than they are. And what I've been told is that, and they won't tell you
Right.
when you hurt that ego.
Right.
And so now they have this that where they're festering with it, and they've now looked at you a different way because they feel you looking at them a different way. And unfortunately, they won't talk about it. And so I agree with you. So now I'm starting to understand this ego thing, and understanding that it's not a ding against me as a woman to support my man's ego so that he feels like the man. Because again, it's like you said, as black women, we know we can do this.
Yes,
we know we got this because we've had to. And it's not because I mean, I was a single mom. And so it's not that we've done it because we wanted to. We've done it out of necessity. Meaning we couldn't just fold and let our kids go without food.
Right.
We had to continue forward. So I agree with you. Meaning ego is very important and it's fragile and we need to figure out how to do it. So when you're, if this one doesn't work, right? So what would you think would be the reason? Because it sounds like you guys are doing great. So what, because I'm sure you're thinking about it, like, because you've been married, so now you're like, okay, it all sounds good, because we know it all sounds good in the beginning. What are you, like, either looking for or trying to make sure you don't fall back into the trap of?
Pretty much, I'm not looking for much of anything because it's there already.
Okay.
I just need it to stay there. Okay. I mean, we just have to stay steady and do what we do.
Okay. Now, I've been told that once we put labels on things and once we get into these committed relationships, that men feel that women change. So are you going to be aware that, you know, I try to stay in the dating zone kind of girl, the one he met, or, you know, are you even thinking about that?
I'm not thinking about that.
Okay.
Since I met him, we met each other. We have a foundation of what we agree and don't disagree with. So I think pretty much we're steady and we're good. Okay. And I'm happy about it.
Well, on that note, Miss B, I'm going to thank you for being on my show. It was great. So it was good to hear, ladies, that there are men out there who really want a commitment. There are men out there who want to talk. And guess what? This one was only 50, so he's not as seasoned as most of us are. So again, just wanted to share some more information with you about another experience. And thank you so much for listening to my podcast. This is D Love, wishing you peace and D Love.